Welcome to the Cardio Advisor Show. In today's show, we're test driving the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. This is the Speciale model, and I have to say, it's quite a car. It's white on the outside, as you'll see in the pictures in a few minutes' time, and with this lovely red interior. Normally, I don't think I'd be choosing such a strong interior, but with this car, I could be forgiven for choosing it. It's absolutely marvellous. The quality is good. Nice soft touch dashboard and a lot of soft touch materials really throughout the car. You've got this carbon fibre look-alike. It's rather nice, but you're not really interested in what the quality is like, are you? You're interested in how it drives. Well, let's go and find out. I've come to the Morrison's car park, so it's the perfect place to see if I can get out of it. Let's have a go. It has an 8-speed automatic gearbox. See if I can get out without hitting anything. From the moment I saw this car, I thought, wow, this is really, really, really nice. And I have to say, a big thanks to the FCA group, that's the Fiat vehicles, Fiat Alfa Romeo and Jeep, for giving me this car for 2 days. It's absolutely amazing and very generous of them. So, as you're driving it in and out of car parks, it's incredibly light and direct, as you would expect. But you cannot help but notice people are giving you admiring glances. I've never been as popular as this in my life. It's certainly a car that stands out. My goodness, does it stand out. This one has got the optional extra large alloy wheels. I think it must be like 20 inch at least. They're huge things. And the ride qualities, you maybe pay a little bit for that, but with a style factor, my goodness, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So I've got a TFT screen here, and I've got my normal dials there. I've got my speedometer in the middle, which is all fine. I've got my fuel gauge and my temperature, all very clear and easy to read. So as we exit Berwick-upon-Tweed, the town just next to the border, what's it going to be like? Well, if I can actually get out of town, that will be something. Oh, and it's got start-stop as well. Now, all these people are turning left, but the lady in front is refusing to move. And we're going to go, when are we going to go? She waits till the car's actually coming towards her before she moves. There we are. Right. Now we're almost at the final roundabout onto the Berwick bypass. I've been wanting to drive one of these cars for ages. I did have a very little shot at a driving event back in June, but now I've got a chance to drive it properly. So let's see. I've got it in N mode, which is for normal. There's dynamic, and there's also A, which is for advanced economy. And I think if you're on a long run, you might want to use that. But the first impressions, well, it's very, very comfortable. For an Alfa Romeo, yes, it's got a cockpit design, but there's loads of room, and with my weight, I need some. But it's very, very nice. I think you could do a long journey in this and not get backache. And there's plenty of adjustment as well. It's fully electric seats. You've got lumbar adjustment and everything. So it is good. And then you've got very good visibility. The mirrors are big, but they fold in, so I can see easily all around the car. The back mirror is really not too bad. Yeah, it's maybe a bit small, but to be fair, you can know where you are. It's a car that's very easy to place on the road. And it's quite quiet. So I'm going to put it in dynamic mode and get past this van. It's got the 8-speed automatic. And there we go. No problem at all. Past the van. It's rather nice. You can't put it into manual and then use the paddles, which look absolutely amazing, and they feel really, really good. That this car is just totally, I've fallen in love with it. I'm not gonna lie. It's just, if you like driving cars, if you're an enthusiast, you're gonna find it hard not to absolutely love this car. So I'm in 8th gear, doing 60 miles an hour. And it's quiet, it's comfortable, and it's just bliss. It's just really, really nice. Now, I know as someone who test drives cars, I'm going to give you a realistic approach as to what the car is like. Well, I think the reason why I'm so happy is because for years and years we've always thought Alfa Romeo was any good. You know, you'd get a big hype about when an Alfa Romeo was launched, is it any good? But it would often fall short, partly because it was front wheel drive and it really was just a kind of Fiat underneath without much work. But in the last couple of years they've really put everything together, and with the Giulia, which is a fantastic car, and now with the Stelvio, you're actually getting a car that's as good as its competitors. I mean, you know, this car costs over £40,000 new. There's obviously this deal, so you're competing with things like Mercedes GLC, and you know, at the top end, well, a kind of Volkswagen Tiguan's maybe that's similar size. It's maybe not. It's about that. It's got quite a reasonable put as well in this car. But that, you know, there are a number of different premium cars. You've got things like the Jaguar F-Pace as well that it would compete against. Maybe the Jaguar is slightly bigger than this. Also, Range Rover Evoque. Although the 5-door Evoque is probably a little bit smaller than this one, it's very kind of similar lines in terms of its marketplace. But with the Alfa, you've got something totally different, and it just looks amazing. When I show you the pictures outside the car, you'll see for yourself. You just can't get it wrong when you choose the right colour. I mean, this is a lovely white on the outside with black wheels and red leather interior. And normally that would be quite a brave choice. But with an Alfa, you can just about get away with it. It's just a really, really lovely, lovely car. And it's great to know that, you know, the Italians can finally start making cars that you can genuinely buy, knowing you're getting a great all-rounder. And not only will it be fun to drive, but it'll be comfortable and it'll be built well. Now, by the end of the run, I'll know what kind of economy it's doing. But I know that in some places they're getting upwards of 45 miles to the gallon on average, which is pretty good going for a car of this size. I will do an economy run, but that one might be a bit boring, so I won't put that on video. The thing is, there's very good deals. Once these cars have done a few thousand miles, they're coming down to early to mid 30s, which for what you're getting for your money is really good. And I think the overall residual value can't be that bad overall. I mean, I would have thought 14 to 15 grand after 3 years for one with sensible, you know, 12,000 miles a year. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the PCPs come out at. But it's a car that, again, spec it carefully, get a good colour, good specification, and it's going to sell because people will want it. That's the thing. Oh, they've got a fake camera up there. Silly enough to scare me a bit. Look like a fake policeman. Here in the town of Fulden, with incredible views if you've never been around the Scottish borders. So, back in normal mode. And it's of course automatic. They're all automatic, so you don't have to worry about changing gears. And it knows, I mean, it's got so many to choose from, it can certainly find an appropriate gear for whatever condition you're in. This of course is 4-wheel drive as well. Now, I'm not entirely sure what technology it shares with the likes of Jeep, but obviously as Fiat owned Jeep, I reckon there's definitely some DNA in there as well. But what it does mean is that this car should be able to pull you out of a very kind of difficult situation, or if it does snow, and it tends to do it in Britain every so often, you should have a car that can get through the difficult or even treacherous conditions. Because you sit high up, you get a nice view out. So just like other SUVs, it gives you that advantage of being able to see a lot further down the road and being able to overtake things when it's safe to do so. But it certainly seems to have a lot of power when you need it. I mean, I got past that van no problem, and I'm stuck behind another one, so we'll look for a convenient place and safe place to overtake to see how it goes. So, Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Is it worth the hype? I think it is, as you can see from my smile. It is rather nice. In fact, as much as I like Range Rover Evoques, I think I would rather have one of these on my drive, just because it's so different. It's beautiful looks. The Alfa Romeo curves just suit it so well. And I know that when I get back, my family are yet to see this car. They're going to be rather impressed. In fact, I would say they'll be rather blown away, because normally they would never expect me to get a car like this. So, we'll we'll see how they respond. So here we are sitting in the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. This is the Speciale model, and it's an absolutely lovely car. As you would have heard from the podcast, I gave it a raving review, as I really do think it's one of Alfa Romeo's most complete cars ever made. From the build quality to the incredible design, they've finally made a car that not only you can buy with your head, but also your heart. I know that you're getting a proper car, and one that will still be worth something after a few years when you come to trade it in. But I can tell you even more, this is the kind of car that you'll want to hang on to because it is just so nice. I think where, for me, it is a step above the competition is in the way it drives. The steering wheel and the steering in general is incredibly direct, so it's very, very easy to drive, yet it has enough feel to make it sporty so that when you're on an A road, you can have a lot of fun, and it just is a great all-round car. There's plenty of boot space, it's practical, it's comfortable, and everything works. So all the electrics works. You know, years gone by, Alfa Romeo's electronics were not the best in the world, but now they are certainly very, very competent, and I would say more than good enough to make this car, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, one worthy of putting on your list. So that's the verdict from the Cardio Advisor video show. Here we are in Duns, Berwickshire. Have a great night. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.